quite something. Everybody's really excited. We've basically achieved what we wanted to achieve. What a lot of people said we couldn't do, we just went out and did it. So I think a lot of people are pleasantly surprised. A lot of people are really excited. We've got 1,500 or so, slightly under 1,500 reservation holders that are probably thinking they're really smart right now. They picked the right horse. And we've got working cameras. We've got a movie shot with those cameras that are actually shot. We can get some B-roll later of those 2 cameras right there in that glass case. It's their nickname, Boris and Natasha, and they went out to a place called New Zealand and they shot a movie. I guess maybe you haven't seen it yet. You know who shot it?
No,
Probably saw it. No, you don't know?
No.
You've heard of a guy named Peter Jackson, maybe?
I think so. So he shot something with your camera?
It's basically our test footage.
Really?
I won't spoil the surprise. I'll just let you guys see it.
Now, is that going to be available on your website? Or
maybe at some point. Right now, it's just here. So
that's going on
it's in a 4K theater.
And then, so since last year, what has it been very difficult to get to this point? Have you guys had a lot of struggles? What's the most difficult thing obstacle that you had to overcome to get to today?
You know, I wouldn't position or portray us as really having struggles.
Really?
We have drama.
Yeah.
We have lots of excitement. We get things done really fast. And we do things in a very unique, radical way. So I don't think it was ever a struggle. I think there was all kinds of challenges that we had to face and overcome very quickly. But we have a really, really smart team of people. This hit squad, small and mighty. You know, each guy does the work of 10 people. We don't have a lot of meetings. We have a lot of work, and we like to build stuff. So we go build things. As much as we kind of look like this, marketing enterprise, we're really not. We're a development company, and all this kind of just grows organically out of the excitement and what people are really interested in, which is our 4K camera.
That's great. Now, when we looked at this camera last year, there were a lot of rigs to go on the outside of the camera. And from what I've noticed over the year,
yeah, it does seem like
it seems like
a pretty short time.
But you guys have been adjusting the designs of this.
Oh yeah, continually.
So what kind of technology do you have now as far as the camera, holding of the camera and that kind of gear?
Well, the logic of the cage and rail assembly is still the same. The terminology's changed a little bit. That's all kind of semantics part of it. But I guess you'll get a shot of it later. But the way it all works is fundamentally the same as we've always wanted to, where you have this little camera body and then you grow it and modularize it depending on what the type of shooting that you're going to do. So if you're shooting handheld documentary, you can make it small, really small and compact with a nice short films on it. If you're shooting a big feature film, you can grow the thing really nicely, be able to hang all your accessories, a big viewfinder, LCD, all kinds of stuff all over this thing. So that's the logic has stayed the same. What we've continued to evolve on is the actual real functionality of it. I look forward to you putting your hands on it and feeling it, because it's really quite functional.
That's great. And as far as how have you managed to get this 4K image, or it's 4K, right?
It's 4K.
Into somebody's computer like mine? I have a G5 computer. How do I get it in?
It's a whole other story, a whole other part of what we've been doing. It's equally as revolutionary as the camera itself. So you were at the Apple event, I guess, a couple days ago. So you saw, you missed it.
I missed it.
So do you know what's happening, or kind of?
I've seen it online. From afar.
I saw it online.
Yeah.
So in addition to all this great development that we've been doing with the camera itself to shoot 4K, and the first cameras that are doing the work are fully 4K enabled and ready to go. We've also been working on the post-production side of things, because if you're going to do this 4K camera, you need to have some way for people to be able to edit and work with the materials. We have a bunch of different ways to go do this. We have our own software called Red Cine that we developed. It does some specific things that I can talk about. One of the most exciting things is this collaboration with Apple. So
now, Ted, you used to work with Apple to develop the Kona cards so that they would work with the G5.
Right.
Is that right?
Right. I was part of the team on the AJA side that was on the Mac side of things. So I was the Kona and IO guy for my career before this career. And that was wonderful, and they're right down the way, and they announced some new great stuff today too, so everybody's really excited. Sorry, let's see how important this is. Maybe it's my mom. You bumped your camera too. I guess they'll wait. They'll have to wait. So Yeah, so from a standpoint of working with Apple, because I had some good relationships that I was able to call on and said, we're doing this thing, it's real, I want you guys involved. And not only did they get excited about it, they completely embraced it. They said, this is great. We love the fact that you guys are doing this, it's revolutionary. You know, all those buzzwords that they use, it's like the same kind of stuff, right? They said, great, let's go see if we can figure something out together. So what we announced yesterday, which will be coming soon in Final Cut, but it's all working now. We're just kind of cleaning up the loose ends, and then it'll get released in an update to the new Final Cut they just announced yesterday, is native 4K editing in Final Cut Pro using our red code codec. So when you get the new stuff, you'll be able to see in a little pull-down menu, red code will be one of the choices. You'll be able to literally shoot 4K on a drive, just like the one you'll see when you shoot your B-roll shots. And then mounts on the back of the camera, and when you take it off the camera, you'll see that it's got a little FireWire port on the bottom of it, and lo and behold, that makes good sense now. Because you take it off the camera after you've shot, and it's a FireWire drive that you can plug in the Mac, and you literally, if you choose to do so, can take that drive that you shot with, plug it right into a MacBook Pro or a Quad or one of the new 8-core machines, and edit in Final Cut Pro, in 4K, with those files. And from a technical standpoint, what it does, because of the way the codec works, is it generates a specialized wrapper that, so you can see either a 1K or a 2K proxy, or even smaller if you're working on a laptop in the field, from the original 4K media. So you're actually looking at the 4K media, and because there's no displays yet or computers that are fast enough that can do 4K literally coming at 1:1 resolution, we downgrade it so that it still looks fantastic. It's way beyond HD at 2K. And it works. So you're literally cutting 4K in Final Cut Pro. That's one way to do it. If you're doing, say, a DI finish, some, editorial for Film Out or so forth. For everybody else in the world, Apple announced a new codec yesterday called ProRes. And we were kind of linked in with that early on. So you can also, using a special plugin called Log and Transfer in the new Final Cut, bring in the material that you shot in 4K, and then transcode that to ProRes. Super high quality, 10-bit mastering codec. It looks fantastic. Make that work. It's all real-time enabled. And the transcode happens in the full window. You can also do it in compressor if you want. But it all happens. And then you've got one file that's 2K or HD, and you can edit that offline, online, deliver for broadcast, whatever you want. So there's two distinct workflows that kind of all work in tandem depending on what you're using, the way you're going. It's all related to fun.
What is the cost of this camera? Do we have a cost on it yet?
We do.
Price? We do.
We've had a cost all along.
Yeah.
When we announced last year at NAB, we showed up and we said we're going to build a 4K camera and the body's going to cost $17,500. And people said, oh, you watch, it's going to go way up from there when they're finally done. Well, I'm proud to say that the camera body is still $17,500, just like we started out. And of course, all the accessories, just like we had planned, are all in line with that kind of pricing. So, one flavor of the digital, of the red drive is under $1,000 as we targeted. There's a new zoom lens that we just introduced, a red zoom, that's $6,500. The EVF, which is highly advanced, state-of-the-art, electronic high-resolution viewfinder is under $3,000. The onboard LCD is also highly advanced, super slim, high-resolution, $2,000. I mean, it just gets better and better and better as you go along. So what's great about this is a real, true professional tool that's accessible to a lot of people. It's not a toy, it's not a prosumer camera, it's not priced like a prosumer camera, but you have to keep in mind this is a 4K digital camera that is shooting remarkable imagery, which you'll see in a second. And it's priced out in a way that a lot of people can just touch it and work with it. We're thrilled.
How soon can I get one of these?
If you're a reservation holder, hopefully pretty soon.
Yeah.
You are? Are you?
No, I'm not, unfortunately. Maybe I can work something out.
We have to work something out with one of the reservation holders. Everything's subject to change. We're a development organization, remember. But we are scheduled to ship very first units out the door end of this month, beginning of next month. End of April, beginning of April. They won't be fully feature complete yet. Everybody's going to let them know that before they take delivery, and if they want to wait, they can wait. But the cameras are shooting 4K. We're able to shoot movies with them. We're able to do things with them. They shoot red code raw. You'll be able to bring that into a post-production world. All works.
Ted, last year when I was here, you were the hit of the show, and I imagine you'll be the hit of the show this year too.
Well, lines are kind of around the block.
Yeah,
so
there's an hour
something's
line
happening
to get in here. But when I went away from the show and I talked to other people about it, a lot of people told me that what you were talking about was vaporware. So I have to say congratulations on coming up with this camera. And this is a really big achievement that you've done. Thank you.
It was never vaporware for us. You know, we'd always been working on things that were real, and it takes a little bit of time to get things to the state that they are now. But if you look around this booth, everything you see in this booth, including what's in that 4K theater, was done in the last 15 months. And that's remarkable. From building our own sensor, creating all the camera electronics, getting everything working. These are working models that you see on the show floor right now. 15 months.